impediment as well as a hearing issue. I was very introverted as a child, so people make fun of me because of my handicap. So to escape the pain, there could be a lot of Incredible Hulk comic books, Superman, Spider-Man, because I was upset with power to help me to escape the pain. But unfortunately, I traded all those comic books, the original comic books from Marvel magazines, so if I have those comics now, I can buy this building. I have the first Superman comic, the first Batman, the first Incredible Hulk, and Spider-Man. But anyway, so I realized over time that I got into bodybuilding and fitness, and I realized this was my passion to survive. Because I had to work harder than the average person to succeed, because, you know, back in the 50s, having a hearing situation, I was considered like a freak because of the hearing aid. And then, but this gave me the decision to be very successful. I had a lot of different dreams when I was young, to be an actor, to play Hercules, blah, blah, blah. But I never told anyone. But I just kept working on myself to maximize my passion, my physicality, and my potential. And then I'll never forget, one time I was training for the 1977 Mr. Olympia bodybuilding competition, the phone rang. And they said, this is a casting agent, so we have an audition for the Incredible Hulk. I said, you're kidding. I said to myself, I gotta get this part. At the time, they were shooting the pilot with another actor named Richard Keel, who played George and James Bond, the big 7-foot guy. He didn't fit the part. So they were concerned about shelving the pilot of the network, but they decided to bring somebody in. So I went down with the casting call, and then the next day I'm filming the Hulk. That's how it all began. But I realized that when I started the show, it was a non-speaking role. I got a chance to show a pantomime. That means acting without speaking. That could make the creature so sensitive and likable. So that was my training platform. And that's how I eventually got into acting.
Wow. And so basically, visualizing yourself as a superhero helped you overcome your adversity. That's a lot of positive vision. That's incredible.
Well, every one of us has a vision. But it's important, though, to believe in your dream, because a lot of us are afraid of what you call fear. Like, a lot of times I do a lot of speaking, I talk about overcoming fears. So we all have fears in our life, like from the environment, it could be our parents, it could be different people. Right. So I've learned to embrace that fear, because I was told my whole life, you're not perfect. I had a father that rejected me because I was not the perfect son. But I kept hearing, you can't, you can't, you can't. Those are the naysayers. I proved them wrong, because that's what I enjoy doing, because when people put limitations on me, I change those limitations. So that I enjoy doing that, because life is short. You only live once. So if you want to achieve anything, go for it. Don't wait till 85 or 90 to look back and say that shoulda, because you know you have only one time around. So that's why it's important, though, to embrace whatever passion you have.
It's incredible.
Woo!
Thank you for sharing that. And I guess, you know, having the relationships you know, you surround yourself with, I guess that's important too, because you've talked a lot about your relationship with Bill Bixby on The Incredible Hulk. Can you talk us through that a little?
Well, Bill Bixby told me when I first arrived on the set of Universal, he said he'd never forget the look in my eyes. I was looking at these big truck movie cameras. I was like a kid. I was like 26. I walked in the studio. I know anything. So Bill, at the time when I got a chance to work with him, I wanted to say to him, I love you, Uncoachable Eddie Father, the magician. I just love you. You're such a great actor. But you know, when you're on the set, on a TV series with the actors, you spend more time with the actors than with your wife or maybe your girlfriend home, because it requires sometimes 60 to 80 hours a week. So I learned a lot from Bill, watching him, getting advice, everything. Bill was a fantastic actor. But it's sad, though, he passed away at the age of 59 of prostate cancer, because we were to do another Hulk movie called The Return of the Hulk. But Bill had quite a history, and especially he was a producer, actor, and a director. So it was just that he could never be replaced. He was perfect.
Wow. You also have a Star Trek connection, and I was actually just talking about this with some friends in one of the halls there. But you were on a production called Star Trek Continues. Do you want to tell everybody about that? Because it's that episode is one of my favorite episodes.
There's an online series called StarTrekContinues.com. And the second episode called Olani, I played what you call a character named Damahon, a slave trader from another planet that comes to the spaceship to with Captain Kirk, being played by Vic McGuire, to reclaim my slave. And the reason why I wanted to do it, because I've been a huge fan of the original Star Trek, and I love his character because he was an evil kind of, I would call him an evil monster. So I enjoyed playing this role, except I didn't like getting painted green again. But I remember though, they had the original set in Florida, so when I filmed it brought back memories to me as a kid. I used to watch the original Star Trek, and now I'm playing one of the characters in Star Trek. Yeah, it was almost like I went in the past and it's like a dream coming true. But if you get a chance, check it out. StarTrekContinues.com is one of my favorite roles. And because I had a goatee, I have a bald head, you know, earrings on my ears, and I'm not very likable, so
No, you're quite the badass in this. Like,
Badass.
So who's your heroes? Who are your heroes?
Growing up, my hero was Sean Connery, who played James Bond.
Nice.
He was very suave. I admire the way he walked, the way he can conduct himself. Because when I was a kid, I went to the movies one time. My father took me and my brother to the movies, and I never forget in the magazine I saw Steve Reeves, who played the original Hercules. He was pulling down 2 pillows, and it just spread in the newspaper. I'd never seen a guy like that before. When I went to the movies, when I saw him pulling down those pillows, I said, that's it. That's what I want to be like. I want to be like Hercules, because it's all about power. Because we were very manly. Because as a kid, I grew up in a tough neighborhood in Brooklyn, and I just wanted to be able to defend myself. It's amazing that all this triggered my passion to get involved in fitness and bodybuilding.
How have now you've given a lot to pop culture and to fandom. What's fandom given to you? Have there been any particular fan memories or moments that have stood out for you in your career?
Well, this was the 2nd season I was filming Incredible Hulk. So I was inside my motorhome. I was in full makeup, drinking a cup of coffee. So I heard a knock on the door. I said, come in. Come in. The door opened. The guy comes in. He got dark glasses, salt and pepper hair. He came in with a kid. I turned around and he goes, excuse me. He said, my name is Cary Grant. I'm here from England with my nephew. Could you take a picture? I couldn't move. He must have really thought I was ready to Hulk. I couldn't move my mouth. I'm saying to myself, I'm in the motorhome alone with Cary Grant, one of the greatest actors, movie star in the world. I didn't know what to do. So it felt bad for me. I just stood there. I said, knocking my head like, take a picture. But wow, that was one of my greatest memories, because that was a great compliment. I knew how popular my show was at the time.
Oh my God. If Cary Grant like walked in, like that's incredible.
His voice though, I mean, he has a distinguished voice.
Oh yeah, that gentleman, the suave, everything.
Oh, by the way, I just finished a huge miniseries called The Offer. It's the making of The Godfather. It's coming on Paramount Plus April 28th. And what's interesting, it's the 50th anniversary. 50 years ago, a bunch of my friends were talking about this movie about Brando. And they were talking about this guy named Lucy Brasi, the character I played in the series. But it's funny how I would say, man, I love to be part of The Godfather, because being Italian myself. But it's funny how these dreams I've had, it started to happen. Like this series is fantastic, it's 10 episodes, and we have a wonderful cast of actors. If you get a chance, check it out. It's called The Offer.
And that's on Paramount Plus?
Yes.
When's that being streamed?
April 28th.
Okay. Now, other than, like, you've done a lot. You've done comedy, you've been in science fiction, you've been in comics. Are there any genres that you would like to see yourself do?
I want to go back to a sitcom.
Oh yeah?
Like more like King and Queen, because I love sitcom, because I love the instant gratification of the audience. I love, comedy. I enjoy being funny, because when I did King and Queen, I got a phone call from John Hadberg. He wrote the movie called I Love You, Man.
All right.
Yeah, but that was hysterical. It was about romance and romance. So, and now I got a chance to work with these delicious actors like Paul Rudd and Jason Segel. So I enjoy doing that. That's something that I really want to do.
And you showed up in Night Court. Didn't you do a role in Night
Yeah,
Court?
yeah.
They're doing a remake of that. Do you think,
right?
do you, think you might,
Sure.
Why not?
Come play the judge.
Well, I think we're going to turn it over to the audience for some questions. So if we can